This is a mature drink.
Are we trying to say this is a hardback drink? What
Yard man.
Magnum.
Yeah.
This is a yard drink. It's not really a hardback.
It's hardback.
Right, you are live on
Hardback is
YouTube.
No, it's not. No.
Where's the Irish
That's hardback. That's hardback. That's hardback. Oh man, this is mad.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. No.
What are you saying?
Yeah, we're good.
So things got live now, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not blocking out Kate if I sit forward. You just sit down.
Yeah, let's get started. Let's get this thing started.
I'm conscious about my shirt and shit.
You gotta look in the mirror before you
Saying? What? What am I?
I've got problems. The problem with the shirt, not the oh, sorry.
Yeah. This show's gonna be interesting.
That already like, I'm not man talking about it.
From here starting, that's when you know you've got it.
We're gonna try and time this for Love Island, yeah? So
Yeah.
it's not
Love
gonna-
Island.
Yeah, because I don't really want to do this any longer than I have to.
Bro, you sound so positive.
Oh yeah, I'm like,
I'm
what?
saying.
That's just the way it works.
Right, what's the show? What we call it?
Rouge the best time at the best times. But live, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give up.
When is
Move on.
Give up and move on. Bear with us, guys. We just come in. There we go.
What, man can't bust a little Craig David?
If you could boss a great
Wish you wouldn't though. Just keeping it real.
No,
No, not when you see.
Since I've been here, been nothing but negativity from all of you.
Why would you
You
say
say
that?
I mean, don't even move still. I've been
It's
on
cool.
your side.
It's cool. I understand the motives. You're not trying to bring my brother
I've been on
down.
your side.
It's alright.
I've been on your side.
Yeah, mistake.
That's how romance works. Each other out.
There
one
is
gets
no
mad.
romance. There's no
Is there
romance.
romance?
No.
Definitely no
Split
romance.
hairs. That's all it is.
Okay. Interesting.
Great, you're taking me long.
Slow down.
Guys, bear with us for 1 second. We're waiting on Craig. Thank you.
Are you gonna put me under pressure? Oh man. You look and just watch me do nothing.
I actually really need to spit out this channel.
That's what I feel is because I need to read this speak. I'm going to say that. It's not really that.
You said spit us swallow. Who said that?
Ow.
What's on the bag?
There's only two options in this thing, really. I'm just gonna keep it real. Right.
On the two chewing gum
I'm
thing.
coming, guys.
Is it not working?
No, it does work.
Okay.
Just want to catch up. Just want to make sure I can see everything that's going on and we can get the show started. Right.
I have no tissue.
Let's do so.
Right, we shall put everything in there.
I need immediately from my core.
Talking about myself, guys. It's cool, man. We've got drinks here as well, you know. Listen, we pushed the boat out today, yeah? And then the girls come in there like, no, we just have water. It's okay. Like, look, good drinks there, man. But listen, don't open it. Unless you're gonna drink it. Yeah,
I got told that I'm a hardback because I'm drinking Magnum.
No,
Is
no
that-
one said that.
Huh?
I
just
can't
said
feel like that
What's
was
that?
alright.
You say you're walking already?
Wow. them calls already. Alright, cool. Let's get this thing started. Right. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Why are you not in here?
Yes.
We're just gonna get going.
Yeah.
Wait.
What one's wrong?
I think page instead of group. But it is what it is right now. So
Guys, if there's any trouble on Facebook, then just switch over to YouTube because we're like.
No, we're good on Facebook. It's
Okay.
just posted in on our. We've got a page and we've got a group, and it's all a bit of a madness. If you're locked in on YouTube, let us know. Give me a little thumbs up or something. Let me know what's going on. I don't want to let you don't get no sneak peeks of what's going on. Okay, that's my business. Yeah. Alright, cool.
I
You
can
have to,
still see, you know.
yeah, well, just don't look then. You know what I'm saying? Like, work with me, innit? We're in a confined space.
I don't know why.
Alright, grown ass men in the building, make some noise! Good evening. Right, let's before we obviously get going, we've got two unfamiliar faces, maybe to you, but you know, family to us. So let's let them introduce themselves first before, you know, the usual regulars, tight shirts and stuff. Start introducing themselves. Right, starting from my far right, who have we got inside?
Hello, I'm Kay. Very happy to be here today. And can I just correct you? You said grown-ass men in the building.
Yeah.
Can we just say plus two grown-ass who had family?
No, listen.
Two grown-ass women.
Yeah.
I need to, you know, you're thinking, where's my
You can see how the show,
It's
you can see how the show's gonna go already. You can see how the show's gonna go already.
Like,
you can
Look at
proper
her face.
see when this is gonna
We
go.
could do with a bit of decorum.
Wow.
how's that show
I
working out
see
for
it.
you?
Wow, it's literally like that. All right, so we got Kay, and who else have we got? Grown ass lady.
Woman thing.
Mhm.
So hi, my name's Dion Maxwell, and yeah, I'm here.
In the place, yeah.
Bless.
That's the best intro you could come up with. You knew you was coming up here. Yeah, and I'm here. That's it.
I need no introduction, babe. So.
Oh.
10 months there, bars.
Alright, cool. Who else we got inside? Let me move on quick.
No, that was a hard one to follow still. Yeah, it's me, it's Darren, man.
Oh, right, okay. Shine on people, rigs. What's good?
Obviously, you got myself, the host of the show. Mum calls me Craig, so you guys can too. Right, let's introduce the topic that we got inside. It is a topic that we visited once before, and basically for the second part of the show, I think it's only right that we kind of bring some females on to give their perspective on things. They can give their opinion, we'll give ours, and hopefully they'll listen. That's the aim today anyway, all right? So the show, the topic was, when is it time to give up and move on? And we're talking relationships. And a lot of people say, yeah, like, oh, if he cheats on me, or if he says something, if he starts Instagram or DM and they get whatever in it, Susan. Like, it's not always that simple. Yeah, sometimes you got to go through ups and downs within a relationship to come out on the other side. So if a man cheats on you, or he sleeps with your sister or something, sometimes you've got to forgive, and you've got to be ready
Family members.
to move
No.
forward.
Nothing.
Yeah, because you've got kids already, and sometimes it's not that time to move forward. Yeah, because we're human beings and we make mistakes.
It's
Yeah,
a personal situation.
just like you.
Oh,
No,
wow.
the way you said, because you got
I don't know. No.
Oh, wow.
Listen, I'm trying to give out Susan. This is Susan's.
No, that's
I was just Susan.
This is Susan. Let's keep.
Okay.
Listen, if I set the scenario, you got to stay there.
Okay.
Stay there till I bring you out.
Susan's case.
Right,
Okay, sorry.
This is
sorry.
about Susan right now.
Guys, this show
Yeah.
is going to be fire, by the way.
Right,
Just
this
saying.
is about Susan.
Okay.
So,
Susan.
my thing is, ladies, let me start off with you, obviously. When is it time to walk away? And is there a strict rule that you kind of live by, or like a, you know, like a code, or you do that and it's over? What's the absolute no-no?
Okay, when it's time to walk away, definitely depends on the woman, because everyone's different. But it depends on the woman,
Oh, yeah.
because a man could, like, you're gonna have like a time in your head when you're like, I've had enough, and the same goes for a woman. Like, and I've noticed over the years, a man will stay in an unhappy situation, like they'll just chill in it. Like from some of the males that I know,
Okay.
they don't moan about it, and then like, but women, they're like, nah, things have to change, and usually I feel comes to an end sometimes because of the woman.
So,
This is just my experience.
is that not because men are just have got higher tolerance level than women are?
Maybe.
I
I feel like men
yeah.
sometimes are just blind to it and they just think that everything's okay.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Are
Not
we
all the
talking
time.
personal experiences or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they'll like, a woman will reel off like 5 things they want changed in a relationship, and they'll change one and they'll be like, it's fine, it's good, everything's good.
But ain't that a start?
It is a start.
And is that something to work with? So my thing is that if
It's
you come to me and say,
definitely.
you know what, cool, stop playing Xbox, you're playing Xbox too much, or PlayStation, whichever way you go. But and you talk to your man them in the group too much,
Yeah.
and you also smoke too much weed. If I give up weed,
Yeah.
for example,
What's wrong?
not giving up.
Yo.
But yeah, like if I give up weed, or let's just say Darren, I don't know. I'm just gonna say, no, alright, this is the scenario in my head is Darren. If Darren gives up weed,
Yeah.
then to me that's quite a big step.
A
Alright,
big-
fair
a
enough.
big
It's one out of your three demands.
Yeah.
But ain't that something that you can work with? Would you walk away still if you said no? I want these three things changed. Change them or I go.
Okay, so me personally, if I had 3 things you need to change and you change one of them, I'd be like, that's a start. This is a step in the right direction. You're showing dedication to this relationship. Let's press on. That's me though. Because I'm the
Okay.
people that'll be like, no, I want all 3 now or nothing. And I'm gonna go.
What about yourself, Dion? How would you deal with that?
I see. Okay, so my viewpoint is love is meant to be unconditional. So it depends on the circumstances, it depends on the situation, and it depends on the people. So if I'm in a relationship with someone and I've been in that relationship for say 7 years, and that person is going through a difficult time which has knock-on effects to how they act. So say they used to go to the gym a lot, now they don't go to the gym and they put on loads of weight, or they had a job, they no longer have a job now. So their life, their own personal journey, their own personal life has started to spiral in a different way. Then I could work with that person and try and motivate them and stick with them, because I realise that situation is it's like probably 5 minutes in their life. However, if they do something that fundamentally disrespects the relationship,
Right.
then that's a completely different thing. That's not about you. That's not about you investing in somebody. That's about you being taken the piss out of by somebody.
Sorry, can I
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
a
go,
question?
yeah, go on.
Because in regards to the first part what you said, isn't that a time sensitive thing? Because like you said, all right, he could be going through a situation in life where, like you said, all right, he's out of a job or whatever it may be, yeah, and that's affected him negatively.
Yeah.
You're providing the support, but the negativity continues for a sustained period of time. That,
So if you
still can
say
affect you.
you've been together for 7 years or 2 years, whatever, and that period of time is still 4 years, and that's a long time. Like to deal with somebody and deal with that is a long time.
Yeah, very
However, it's still about what they're doing during that time. If they don't expect to be unemployed forever, like I know couples where the guy has been. I know couples where the guy's been unemployed and it was for a sustained period of time. So it meant that the roles in that relationship had to change.
Yeah.
So now he is more of or was more of the provider at home. So picking up the kids, he was the person that was making sure the home was a certain way, and she was more the financial breadwinner for the two of them. So they're working together. But if it was different and say he was just like, no, I'm still not, you still got to do everything and I'm going to sit here and wallow in the fact that I'm not working, there's only so long that you can work with somebody like that. Like that person isn't trying to help themselves. However, my point is, if you as a couple, you are like working on the same page, you're working on the same hymn book, that's why you're together, and then fundamentally as individuals you start to change. Like your path is over here, their path is over. You've already invested that time, but now it's time to move on, because fundamentally you're different people now, so you can't still stay in that relationship.
No, let me tell you what. Whilst I understand about growth and going in different directions, first of all, big up Daniel as well, and Sonia. I often do that mid-summer. But yeah, basically you can grow in different paths, but as long as love hasn't died, can you not learn to love I like to call him the evolved Darren. I'm still in the Darren.
You're going with me?
Yeah, the evolved
Stop smoking
Darren.
now.
Do you understand what I mean? Why can't you love that person? Because your heart should be open to that. If you say that I love this person, I'm in a relationship, cool, and they're changing, and it's not negatively.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Because being out of work or whatever, as much as it's I don't know, it's a disruption, it's an obstacle. It's not that that person is changing, for example. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And fair enough, the roles in your relationship change. But my thing is, if your heart is open, you truly love that person, you will be flexible to that.
I agree. If the love is unconditional, so if you have unconditional love, there are no conditions on what you will tolerate or what you will accept from the person. However, if, for example, I'm in a relationship and I am bossy and I'm not saying I am, but I'm materialistic. I'm materialistic and I like things, and the connection that I have with my partner is about going on holiday and it's buying cars, buying shoes, etc. That's our connection. Like we appreciate each other because of that. And then he turns into a tree hugging vegan. The dynamic of our relationship isn't really going to be the same. So
And
as much
also-
as I might like him still, it kind of be like we're on different pages now. So the relationship isn't going to be what it was.
And also, it's about like, I think I said this the first time. It's about how you like to be loved, or what you see as love. innit? Like you said, the woman could be like, all right, you know what, Gucci handbags, Louis Vuittons, that's how I like to be loved, innit? And she's getting that throughout the duration of the relationship. And then hard times hits, he isn't able to provide that no more. And then she's like,
that's
well,
what
this
she's
is not what I
gonna see
signed
love
up for.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing, like in regards to what you said about unconditional love, I think it's very rare. Like apart from your love for your children, I think unconditional love in a relationship is a rarity. I really think it is, and I think it's something. It's a notion.
I'm gonna
that
say
people-
something really out there. Unconditional love in a relationship don't fucking exist.
I would tend to agree with you.
I don't agree.
I tend to agree with you.
I mean,
I tend to
I
agree
think
with you.
no,
Don't exist.
It does exist.
It does
I've seen
exist.
it. I've experienced it.
All right. Let me tell you. All right. Let me tell you why. Let me
Yeah.
tell you why. Yeah.
Okay.
Because and I'm gonna compare it to a child. Yeah. My child, I've got unconditional love for. Therefore, if my child does something to me, yeah, that could almost look like outside is unforgivable, it's forgivable.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? Let me just give you a very harsh and random example.
Yeah.
You love me unconditionally. Good for you. Yeah. Sorry, let me get back to it. Right? Let me finish though.
Okay.
If I then, sorry for being crude, sleep with your mum.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Alright, mums.
Wow.
I'm doing time.
Mum, apologies, mum. If you're watching, mum, apologies.
No, but hear my
You
point.
just said unconditional love.
Hear my point.
Well,
Right.
I didn't say stop happening, but they said I'm doing time. But I'm not from inside the jail.
My thing is, whilst yes, instantly the love don't stop.
That's sinister.
That right there is what I call a love killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're
It's a
gonna fall.
condition.
There's conditions to the way in which you love me,
Yeah.
and that's just within a relationship. Respect is often one of them, because if there's disrespect within a relationship, it often kind of it comes down or it depletes. It goes, isn't it? But that's why I say there's conditions.
Society dictates that there is unconditional love. Because look,
I'm gonna drink myself.
look at
There was unconditional love. My parents were a prime example. But carry on, I'll let
So
you
it's
finish.
happening. So it's happening once
I reckon-
all the time.
I reckon they had a
It
good
wasn't,
relationship, a great
love, it was
relationship.
with finances, because my mum was accustomed to a certain type of life. My dad guaranteed for somebody. It went belly up. My mum and dad had to sell their house. They were close to the edge. But my mum stayed and helped my dad rebuild himself. Then
And
they
that's-
returned,
Yeah, your
and
mum
my,
loved.
my dad helped my mum rebuild herself. My mum stopped working. Like, imagine like your
So
combined
this
income
wasn't
was
your
100K.
mum's friend. This was just your dad's friend.
It was, I can't even go into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's watching.
Don't chat my business.
But it was like, I remember it, I was a young child, and I remember constantly being up listening to my parents argue and thinking, oh my god, this is it, like, I'm gonna lose one. Didn't. And I genuinely, like, for anyone else that would have gone through this, it could have ended in divorce. My mum stayed, and I to this day, I'm like, I wrote
And that's good because
And that's
that gives you
conditional.
hope
This
for
is conditional
the
love,
same
though.
kind of relationship.
It's an amazing love, and honestly, like, not to even to mock or play it down,
Yeah.
like, that's a dope story. Like, to be fair, because a lot of people will walk in that position.
Of
You know
course,
what I
especially
mean?
when she said, don't do this, don't
Yeah.
get practice.
And then-
She was my dad's counsel, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're married, so my dad goes to my mum and says, I want to do this, I want to do that. Don't do that, don't do that. He went and did everything that she said don't do, she stuck with him. It put the whole family in a position where we could have just been on the streets. Luckily we
Yeah.
never were, but my mum stayed. And it was hard for her, and I remember
And you
seeing
gotta
that in
bless,
her
you
eyes.
gotta honestly, you gotta respect the strength of
mums,
that.
right? Mums.
Yeah, we got
To
mums
be
for
fair,
real,
I rate all
man.
the time. Every minute she's like, I'm tired. I'm like, look, you've been through some stuff. Of course you're tired. I rate you. I respect you. I want to be you when I grow
Yeah.
up. Because you don't find a lot of that nowadays. People will walk out and think, what, like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
and-
shaking my
and-
neck, and we'll walk out. Do you know what I mean?
Generally, I think that is generally the way it will go. That whole thing of people staying unconditionally, that doesn't.
Yeah, it's a hard.
That's why I didn't want to say it doesn't exist, because you're always going to get
Yeah,
this
it's very-
one in
it's
the
a
middle.
rarity.
But it's a rarity because, like I said, society dictates it. If a woman stays with a man who's cheated on her a number of times, women will frown upon that. So
you're saying the only
so if
reason,
there was
the only
unconditional
reason
love-
certain relationships stay together is because it's, you know.
No, I'm not even saying that.
Because of how society be.
But what I'm saying is that, like, if a woman stays with a man who's cheated on her numerous times, women in general will look at that and think, "Oh, she's an idiot. She's an idiot." But if there was, if unconditional love was a real thing, then women or people would just say, "Well,
It's just what you do.
good to
You
know,
know what
whatever. I'm
saying?
not getting involved in their business."
Listen, let me read out a couple of comments, right? We've got a few people locked in as well, right? Shout out to Shalika, shout out to Carmel. Right, so Danielle has said, being out of work should not be a problem if the person is contributing equally in other ways. And that's going back to our first point. Danielle, I apologise, I get too engrossed sometimes and want to speak my part and I don't keep up. You know, I apologise. It's a flaw I'm working. Right. Danielle said it depends on what they will work with. Right. Jack P. Is it Jackie? Is it Jackie?
I don't remember.
Jack P.
Jack P.
Until you correct me, yeah, it's Jack P. I only believe you could have unconditional love for a child. I agree.
Yes.
It's true, Craig. Well said.
Interesting.
You just
Is that a
winning.
man?
You know what I'm saying? No, that's a lady.
Woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Child love is unconditional, which is what I was saying. Shout out to Emma. She said, was the unconditional love between her mum and dad, or the love for you as her daughter, is what made her stay and find love with her partner again? Oh, jeez, I like that.
I was
It's
thinking-
That's a
interesting.
different
And
dynamic.
I've actually asked my mum that as well.
Okay.
I've actually asked my mum, I'm like, like, say we did that all over again, would you stay? And she said, yeah. She goes, it wasn't about the whole thing of we had children or anything like that. I loved your dad. What my mum and dad had, boy, I don't even know. Oh gosh, if somebody else has that, well done, because that was real love, and that's what, like, they almost like had me in a little bubble. I used to think that's just how everyone is,
Yeah.
and then you know when you grow up and you're like, wow,
It's not really that.
that is
Oh,
not,
yeah,
yeah, not everyone has that. So my mum was like, because of how me and your dad started and how his values, his morals, and the person he is, I stayed. I didn't agree with what he did. She's like, and my mum's a very attractive woman. She could have gone off and probably remarried someone else, and they'd been
Your
happy
mum's
to have
buff,
steps.
is what you're saying. Yeah? Mum's is buff. Okay.
Wow.
She
We'll talk about
but she
Steve.
chose to stay because she loved him through and through. And my mum's a person of, I don't know, maybe old school people. They were like, look, when we say those vows, this is for life.
And to be fair, that I don't even think that should count. This is my thing. It shouldn't count for old school. Do you understand what I mean? It's like when
Just
old school
be
people say the
general,
vows.
I hear you.
The vows are the vows, isn't it? They ain't
Yeah.
changed. So it's just like, I don't know, where our generation as such going down, the values in a relationship are different.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to walk away from a relationship.
Yeah.
So question now.
Question?
Taking into consideration the example you just used, your parents and whatnot, how great a woman your mum was, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think women are less accepting or forgiving in today's?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
I'll get
For me,
Yeah, go on.
for me, yeah. I'm not saying it's all down to women, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it is nowadays people just walk away from relationships way too easy, like willy-nilly.
Definitely.
But I think a lot of that, majority of that, is down to the rise of women. Like in today, in this society where we're in right now,
The independent woman thing.
the woman is on the rise.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Like women.
I would
are
say the
getting a
strength
lot-
of a woman being celebrated and being more open about it is more being accepted in society.
Women are on the up, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what comes with that is, well, okay, now I expect more. Now I want more. Now I want. Do you know what I mean? And what happens is the dynamics of the relationship shift. The balance is now not equal.
Yeah.
In terms of roles and what's expected.
The role of what is fine
and,
now.
and what happens now is what I've seen in brethrens, in just societies, a lot of men are uncertain in their roles in relationship. Like before, you were certain, like, this is my role, this is what I do, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
now women are doing what they want, earning for themselves, doing what they want, going out, having careers for themselves, which I'm not saying is wrong.
Right.
However, it has an effect on the balance and the dynamics of the relationship.
I 100% agree, and this is one of the things that I did want to put to you guys as well, about gender roles within a relationship, and well, there's two points. Gender roles in a relationship. When you talk about the rise of women as such, it's hard to kind of accept that term. I don't know how comfortable it sits with me, but fair enough. All right, we're just going to say the rise in terms of women. Has gender roles in a relationship now been wiped out, eradicated, gone, or is it a thing where no, a woman does still want a man to play a role in a relationship and you know, be the, let's say, be the provider, be this, without trying to go off topic too much,
Yeah.
because I think in terms of the gender roles, it affects what women and men within a relationship will tolerate in terms of staying. Do you understand what I mean?
Definitely.
Because if there's no clear role,
Definitely. The lines get blurred.
exactly,
The lines get
that's
blurred.
my thing. How do I know when I'm going wrong? What are you measuring this against?
That's a communication thing, don't you think, when it comes
Possibly.
to relationships? I feel like, and that's why a lot of people should get counselling before they marry, or if they feel like they're in a relationship and they're not communicating well, maybe seek someone to sit down with in your family who can mediate between the two and just like communicate. I think that's such a simple thing. I think, yeah, women, like at one point my mum was earning more than my dad, but they sat down and spoke about it, and voila, there was no problem.
Yeah.
But for some people, it's just not that easy. They're like, I want to be the
It's
winner.
an ego thing.
I don't want you to earn more money than me. And I guess that's been problem to.
Can I ask you both a question? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to basically find out in terms of your moral standards and what you will accept within a relationship and what you won't accept. Is that based on what you've experienced in terms of what you've seen in terms of your parents, you for one,
Yeah.
and then obviously you to answer as well to find out. All right. So say if your dad cheated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had a baby.
We want to get in your business, basically.
Yeah. All right, cool. No, this is what I'm trying to say. Because
Yeah.
I almost want to test this unconditional love. He cheated, had a baby, yeah?
Yeah.
Your both your parents are black,
Yeah.
yeah? Proud black people.
Yeah.
He was with a white woman as well. Yeah?
Okay.
I'm just throwing that in there.
Okay.
No, I know. No, hear what I'm saying. I'm
You said
throwing
that
this,
so nicely.
yeah, I'm throwing this in there because these things do affect decisions. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Had a baby, yeah?
Yeah.
So now you've got mixed race brother or sister. Yeah? Unconditional love, does that still prevail? Keep you guys together? Not you guys, I mean your mum and dad.
Probably would have, yeah. My
Why
mum
probably?
was-
You said probably. I don't know why you said probably, because it's unconditional.
She's speaking for
Okay,
someone
I'm
else,
not
so she
100%
can't,
Yeah, yeah.
she can't answer
It
for
would have
her.
been an issue for my mum,
Yeah.
but she would have said,
Right, so my next point. Now you're going into a relationship, yeah? It sounds like I'm setting you up. I'm not setting you up. I'm thinking on the spot. I'm going. You're now in a relationship. You've now met this person and you really like him and well, you love him, yeah? You think it's unconditional. You think it's like it's on par. He cheats on you, yeah? Remember, you're your own person right now. Nothing to do with your mum.
yeah.
Is that an absolute no-no? Is that a cross-off or what?
Is this a yes or no answer, or can I give
You
like?
can say it.
No, you can say.
It depends on the circumstances and how it went down. From
Oh,
what
it
I
does.
see. It all
So it's
depends.
not the act.
It's not
This
the
is
act,
interesting.
because we all have different definitions of cheating. So for some people, I'm
Oh, this was sex.
Oh, it's sex.
Yeah.
Fully had sex with someone else.
Yeah.
Fully had sex.
Is there a child involved?
It was unprotected.
I'd stay with him. I would stay with him. I
Yeah.
would stay with him. But if it continued to happen, now there's so many factors
I
involved.
was about to say, you know what?
Let's-
Okay, if you're at, that's no one around.
No, there's so many
What's your
factors
bottom line?
involved.
What's your bottom line?
Yeah, there's gotta be a
what's the
Okay,
standard.
for
standard?
example, I have stayed with somebody that's cheated on me before.
Okay.
I have. We worked it out.
Mm.
But then we broke up later when everything came out. Like he told me his version of events and made it sound like he had been trapped. And my UK was like, oh,
Yeah.
stay together. Sounds like later, but it was nothing like that. And I was like, bye, see you later. So it depends. Like some people will like stay with somebody who's openly.
But was that love dependent or was that a respect factor in terms of what it was?
That was a respect. Like, had he just told me from the jump
You would have.
exactly how it went down,
Hmm.
I probably would have stayed with him. We could have worked through it.
Can I ask you women about it? Because I have a big, I don't know, I don't believe women. I say, oh, if you told me to just be upfront with me, I'll forgive you.
Some women
I just don't believe it.
But some women are like that, they don't believe it. But if, say, for example, I've been in a relationship with you for 6 years
Yeah.
and this happens, and I'm not as, I'm getting down, like myself, you know, I might flirt. Everyone has a work husband, don't they?
Okay.
That's a new show.
Do they?
Yeah. Tune in
But
for
no
another
one's
day.
perfect. You know, if they've come to you, like I said, there's so many factors involved. If I'm out on the road and the girl's like, I stay with your man, it's different. We can't stay together. Don't make me find out on the streets. But if you've come to me and said, look, I've done something, I've messed up, like, and you there's like remorse there and you're truly sorry.
He's got to cry, basically.
Yeah, like you don't have to don't cry because then I'll be like, oh, like don't cry.
I'll give you that single tear. You know that one that just trickles down?
If you show me that you're sorry, if you
Yeah.
come to me, you say it and you say you genuinely work for it, it was a mistake or not, and you're just honest about it, why can't we work for it?
Okay.
Nobody is perfect. But if I
Okay.
find out from somebody else or somebody else or somebody else, you make me look like a fool about it.
So the problem is just how you look.
Not how I look, but the respect that you've come to me and said it is different to then me finding out over there.
But I want to ask Marlon and Dion as well. Dion, let me start off with you. If you're in love with a guy, yeah, nice guy. Yeah, I'm not going to try and build this scenario. He's just a cool guy.
No, you say you, innit? So, that's what I'm going to say, innit?
Alright, listen, he's a bald guy. Yeah, cool, he's got a beard, whatever. No, I'm joking. But no, you're just in love with a guy, and he cheats on you. You'd never think, you bring him around all your friends, you think, oh, like, it's cool, it doesn't even come across that way. But he cheats on you, and he lies to you continuously about it. However, he's then caught, whatever, he comes to you and says, look, I am sorry. I'm wiping this person out of my life. I love you. Yeah? And he gives you that pause. You know, I love you. Say nothing. 3 seconds. Don't feel the air. Rest. No, but I love you, and I like that's it. How would you deal with that?
I think it depends on how I feel about him. So if I love him, then I'm likely to still stay. If I'm like, well, I like him, he's cool, and then find out he cheats, yeah, I'm probably just gonna go bounce anyway because I wasn't in love with you. You know them people that you give a chance to, you're like, I don't really like you anyway, and then they tell you like,
That's the
really?
worst.
Like,
Yeah.
so I would probably,
That is the worst.
I would probably, if I
You
think.
know, there's someone out there who's like, yeah, that was it.
And it's happened to me, like there was someone I loved, like I still love him because I had a strong amount of love for him, and he cheated more than once. The first time, I was devastated. I can't even tell you, like heartbreak, diet, lost bare weight. I mean, I was young. I was like really young at the time, and then, but at first I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want to break up with him, and I knew that if I told somebody, I would be forced to make a decision that I wasn't ready to make yet. And then we broke up anyway because he wasn't serious. But the love that I had for him, it didn't go away because he cheated on me. It was more that the respect that I had for him, and I realised he didn't have for me because he cheated on me, meant that I couldn't stay in that situation.
Does that has that? Oh, do you think that would have an effect on your future relationships in terms of if you were in that situation again, you would do things differently?
I think that I still think that people are individuals fundamentally, and whatever route you take to learn your lessons is down to you as an individual. But if we come together and we're going to get married, we're going to be serious about this, I'm expecting that you've learned a certain amount of lessons. So if we have invested, like we're buying a house, we're sharing finances because your money is quite a serious thing. We're going to create children. And I'm in love with you, and you're saying you're in love with me. Then I feel like it wouldn't be that easy for me to walk away from it because actually I'm invested in